Hey guys, welcome back to the show. Today is July 19th, 2022, and the news is sponsored by Analogue Spotlight, a group of photographic retailers and manufacturers who have joined together to support analog photographic media and help keep analog photography thriving worldwide. The brands are basically going through over my head right now. There's also a link below to the website where you can see more events and things coming from the brands. So thanks to them, basically the news are open and free for everybody to watch here on YouTube. So let's start with last week. I kind of forgot a couple of news. So this week we have extra long week of news. So we're going to start with Midtone machines. Midtone machines is officially now available or sort of available for pre-order through Freestyle Foto in the USA, and the price is finally revealed at $3,750 US. It sits between basically it's more than a Jobo CPE, but it does do things automatically, and it's around the price of the Diva and also around the Filmomat. So sort of in that spectrum of high-end self-developing machines. So yeah, just in case you were thinking of ordering one, they're already available over there. Then we have news from Kodak, but not Kodak actually. It's one of their partners, let's say, that can brand things as Kodak, with the Kodak Pixl-ltr H35 camera. This is what I call disposable, reusable, or reusable, disposable. Those very simple, basic cameras that kind of have like a plastic lens and a flash and so on, but they're reusable. But this one has a difference. It says H35, which makes no sense because it should be maybe H72, because it actually can do double exposures, half frame exposures, which gives you double the frames. So this is shooting basically vertical half frame, and you can shoot 72 pictures into a roll of 36. And it's fairly inexpensive, and it's sold through Foto or retopro.co. I'll leave the link below, but it is kind of retro looking and sort of a new camera. And I'll air quote new because this to me is not yet fully a camera. It's kind of like the hint of maybe wanting to try to make a camera. But yeah, it is a camera, does shoot half frame, 72 pictures. It's available in a bunch of stores, retailers through Europe for sure. I'm sure Analogue Spotlight, Analogue Wonderland actually probably has them in their store. Then we have news with Rezivot and their 400 feet bulk loader. Rezivot already made a 1,000 feet bulk loader, and this is basically like one of those AP Patterson, or I don't know, there's a bunch of different ones, Bobby Quick bulk film loader for 30 feet. But instead of 30 feet, they've created this dark chamber block that basically can do 400 feet now. This is available through their website, already being pre-ordered or made. They are kind of made on order, so don't expect to have like next day shipping, but they're super cool. We actually ordered like 3 of the 1,000 feet or more here at work, and I can't wait to see them and make a review about how it works and how good it is. Then we have ORWO color examples. So ORWO has been talking about their new film, their color film, being actually 35mm C41 for still photography, so 35mm canisters that you can put on your cameras. And they have given more examples. They're actually better examples than the last one, so it is more interesting to see that it actually will be better than the previous examples, the ones they launched them with, and it's still on pre-order. And they've also confirmed that their Cinefilm that they kept on saying was going to be ECN2 is actually going to be C41. So we're going to see what's going to happen with labs, because most labs that are doing ECN2 for like film, like actual motion picture, are not ready for C41. I don't know what's going to happen there. So it's 8mm, 16mm, 35mm, and 65mm motion picture film. That will be C41. Talk to your lab if you're interested in that, because I have no idea how this works. Then we have Light Lens Lab. So Light Lens Lab is a Chinese manufacturer of lenses and accessories, mostly for Leica M. So far, they haven't dabbled in anything else, so I guess only Leica M for now. But they've made, now there's an announcement and things coming for a speed Panchro 50mm f2, like a Kook lens. Then there's also a 50mm f1.2 Noctilux copy, and a bunch of other things coming. So if you're excited about it, I'm excited about it too. I hope to report here from the news. They don't have a website, so I can't really send you into many places yet, but you can find them in some retailers that are reaching into having them in stock. They've made 35mm Sumi Cron copy V1 8 element. They've made a 50 Alcan f2, and they're working on a bunch of other stuff. Very cool stuff. They've even hinted a Barnack copy. Yes, an actual film camera that's not plastic, that shoots more than one speed camera. So that's pretty cool news. We got to keep an eye on these Light Lens Lab guys. Then we have, talking about Chinese manufacturers, TT Artisans brass light meter. So the Doomo came out with a brass light meter. Now TT Artisans comes out with a brass light meter. It's almost like they were made in a very similar place. And also coming from TT Artisans, we have now a 35mm Apo f2 lens for Leica M mount. So you have this lens for $469 US, which is extremely cheap for this kind of lens. But yeah, if that's your thing, you can keep an eye on that. Oh, I was talking now. Doomo has also made the meter D in brass. So we have the light TT Artisans and the Doomo in brass, black paint brass, your choice. Then we have Intrepid with a color darkroom manual. They're made by Christopher Osborne. This is made with Silver Green Classics and Christopher Osborne. They made this publication. It's a little booklet, or actually book, that helps you understand all about color printing, and also specific, not only specific to, and also is including a chapter on the Intrepid color enlarger. So you can learn all the basics of color printing, but also helps you understand a bit more of the Intrepid color enlarger. So it is kind of a collaboration of sorts. But yes, color basically printing manual. It's good to see these things new because the color printing ecosystem has changed completely in chemistry, papers, options, and so on. So I'm glad to see this. I saw it in person in Germany. Christopher's a nice guy. You should totally go ahead and buy it. Then we have Chamonix with 4x5 plastic film holders. Yes, you heard it right. The manufacturer of wooden cameras, carbon fiber cameras, Chamonix, is now making 4x5 plastic film holders. They're double-sided film holders, so 2 sheets of film. This comes because the demand for their wooden film holders was so big they can never stock them in time enough because you have to dry the wood and work the wood and all this stuff. So they're making these plastic ones so you can actually buy them all year round without hopefully any issues. So they're already available. I'll leave the link to their Instagram account, which is through where I order, Facebook and Instagram, because they have different sources of sales, or I guess places to sell, and I enjoy that source. Then they've also come out with a spanner wrench for those pesky Copo shutters and Prontor shutters and Compur shutters, the wrench that's special with some wood engraved in it, which is kind of cool looking. Then we have one of the weirdest but coolest news I think of this week is Ikigai, a film lab, if I'm not wrong, based in Australia, maybe it's New Zealand, but I think it's Australia, has found a way to recycle the 35mm plastic container, the canister, the outside can, and they actually are planning on recycling them for making products, and I'm not sure if it's going to be film products or just general injection mold products, but this is really cool because, as we all know, there's more than enough waste made with any kind of consumerism, but film photography has that perk of the plastic container, which is made to keep your film, dry and not humid and so on. But it also is something that gets disposed every single time you load a roll. Some people reuse them for some stuff. We all know what it can be used for, but my kids actually make little people with hot glue guns. But yeah, recycling 35mm plastic cans, which is really cool, from Ikigai Film Lab. I'll link their Instagram below. Then we have Cameradactyl with a sort of different approach to what he's been doing lately. I know that Ethan has been working from doing pre-sales and then sending stuff to now doing batches of stuff. Well, he's trying this now with a new pinhole, which is called Andy. This is a pinhole camera, self-developing pinhole cap for tomato cans or cans. And this is a free, you heard it, free STL file for download. So you can download it, print it, make this little pinhole can, self-developing gizmo, and nothing has to be paid. So Ethan is moving into a sort of a different direction with the 3D printing and the STL, but this is kind of cool. Ethan is a cool tinkerer. He needs to be doing like more thinking, I think, and he wants to not have to make everything. So that's pretty cool. So it's free for now. Then we have new Zebra dry plates. They've improved the dry plates made here in Europe. Have improved the emulsion, less peeling, lifting, filling, etc. So this is, I guess, Formula 2.0 for the new dry plates made by New Zebra. Then we have news from Filmwashi with a color film. They haven't made a color film in a while, and Filmwashi kind of like makes very niche films. They have like washi film, actually called Filmwashi. Washi film, they had like a special X-ray film, super contrast film, all the kinds of random strange films. Now they're coming out with a color film, and it's a maskless color film, which means C41 film but no orange base. So more news as soon as we get them. Then we have Alvandi, one of the channel sponsors, with some cool news. First one is something I've never seen before, and I think this is really ingenious, and it's the Linhof, well, basically it's a Linhof lens board with a built-in helical coid. So what this does is it lets you focus wide-angle lenses on the Linhof without much issue. If you ever use the Linhof camera, one of the Technica cameras, there's a minimum that you can shoot usually with center models, like let's say 75mm, and I'm making this up. But this basically lens board lets you focus inwards with the helicoid. So you can focus closer with wider angle lenses without a receded lens board. So this is pretty cool. Never seen it before, but I think it's amazing. And he's also made a new shutter tester, version 2 of his previous shutter tester. I'll leave the link to all of those below. Then we have a new project, which is not new, but it's been sort of new. The new land camera is almost done. Their Instagram account already has pictures of like the stages towards them creating a Kickstarter campaign. This project is basically trying to save the land cameras from only having the one instant option and no more FP100C, no more peel apart film from Fuji or Polaroid. Only option right now is one instant from SuperSense, but they're trying to save those cameras to shooting Instax wide. So they've done a lot of work and they're almost at the Kickstarter phase. So you can follow them on their Instagram at the link below. Then we have new Instax trays at Brooklyn Film Camera, also channel sponsor, has made basically Instax trays to put on your flatbed so you can scan, I think it's up to 8 Instax pictures. This is done in collaboration with Cameradactyl, but they're sold through Brooklyn Film Camera. Then we have the Polaroid 8x10 film holder. These have been remade by a company somewhere in Asia, and they were not available for the last couple years, but now that Polaroid seems to be maybe making some more 8x10 Polaroid film, come the new 8x10 Polaroid holders, which are kind of needed if you want to shoot this stuff. So yeah, I'll leave the link below. There's basically a Facebook link where they announce the stuff. If you want to purchase one, you can check it out there. Then we have Godox. Godox is a very well-known flash strobe manufacturer that has never been in the news because they usually make products for general photography and mostly digital photography. I won't say digital photography because a flash can be used with anything, but you know what I mean. But this time they've made two flashes that are kind of focused at film photographers and also those that like something that looks a bit more vintage or retro, whatever you want to call it. One is called the Godox Lux Senior, and this is like kind of like a big flash that goes on top, and it actually has a built-in reflector, like one of those like metal reflectors that looks like an alien antenna, and is bigger and has basically also PC port, so a sync port to your film cameras, but also the same flash, well, no, sorry, the same brand, Lux, but Junior, which is this tiny one that also works with film cameras. So these work through hot shoe and also PC port and so on. So you can use them with your Leica M2, you can use them with a Hasselblad, you can use them with a Rolleiflex, and they're retro style flashes with manual settings, which is something I really enjoy. So these are available probably everywhere that you can buy Godox stuff, which is like anywhere and everywhere because it's a new product and they do a lot of digital stuff. But yeah, you can check that everywhere. Then we have the Zintax, which is the film back for Instax film on the RZ67, now making bin tax. You get the Z for the RZ and now the B for the RB. Basically, it's the Bintax back for the Mamiya RB67. So this will let you shoot Instax square film on Mamiya RB bodies, and it has a little crank and you crank it out, and it's basically like a Instax camera that he's like Frankensteined into being at the same focusing plane as the normal film back for Mamiya RBs or RZs. This is already available at around $350 US. It's pretty big news. There's not any other RB67 back you can order at this very moment. We had the Coyote camera works that kind of died, and now we have the Bintax, so that's pretty cool. So that is the news for this week. Like I said, I'm sorry for the extra long news, but there was a lot to cover and I didn't want to forget anything. As always, if you have any information, you can send an email to below. Thanks to the sponsor for keeping the news here live and open on YouTube. Thanks for watching. See you next week.